Ashley from Shane Smith Law, does extra work, digs in, finds a loophole in the policy, doubles the recovery for the client. Find out more below. Shane Smith from Shane Smith Law. Here we're going to talk about one of our most recent client victories obtained by Ashley, one of the attorneys here at Shane Smith Law. Ashley, tell me about this particular case. How did the accident occur?
So in this case, our client was driving straight along a road when a person decided to try and make a left hand in front of her without enough time and ended up hitting into the passenger side of our client's vehicle.
All right, so they just drove into the passenger side. Was anybody in the passenger side of the vehicle?
No. Fortunately, It was just our client in the driver's side.
And what were their injuries? She
was pretty seriously hurt, pretty severe back injuries, something that she's actually still dealing with to this day, unfortunately. And that sometimes happens when there's not enough insurance, but very severe back injuries.
And you talked about not enough insurance. What kind of insurance was available in this particular case?
So in this case, both parties were carrying North Carolina's state minimum. And what that means is the driver that hit her was carrying $30,000 in liability insurance. And her own policy, you're only required to carry uninsured motorist, which she had, but here you don't get to use it. You only really tap into that if you have a policy that exceeds that of the person who hit you. So since they were the same here, we only had one policy available.
And that was just the state minimum limits of $30,000.
Correct.
Okay. And one of the things you said is she's still dealing with her back problems even after the fact. And is that because the insurance available was so small?
Yeah, actually, in this case, the big victory here was on its face, there was only one insurance policy. We worked really hard for several months dealing with the insurance company, trying to find additional insurance. So sometimes you will find additional insurance if the driver of the vehicle is different from who's insuring the vehicle. So the car that hit her, the driver was different, and that driver had their own policy. And it doesn't happen often, but every now and then you'll find loopholes in the insurance contracts that allows you to go after that additional policy. Took us several months to find it, but well worth it because now that gave us $60,000 on the board versus the 30 that we originally thought we had.
So by doing that extra work, you basically doubled the recovery the client could get.
Right, absolutely. And the irony of it all is at first we were told there was nothing additional. We were, forcing the insurance company's hand to run extra searches. We wanted an affidavit of no additional insurance, really just to make sure that we weren't just taking their word for it. And at the point of asking for that affidavit, all of a sudden an insurance policy appeared that we were able to access.
Huh? Yeah. Once we required them to swear that there wasn't anything else, something magically occurred, huh?
Yeah.
So
that was a major victory here. I mean, the second I got that information, I called the client celebrating because I was probably almost excited as she was. We'd worked really, really hard to find additional money.
And I think the lesson there is obviously, ask for that affidavit, get it in writing, and suddenly then when somebody's got to swear that it's true, sometimes the facts change.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So one thing, anytime our listeners are involved in an accident and the owner of the vehicle is different than the person who was driving it who hit you, that's something we need to look at. And, Ashley would be glad to review that for you and talk to you about it, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, how was the recovery for this client?
We managed to get both policies, so the full $60,000 available, which was great in this scenario because she was hurt enough where I thought it was really justified. She's going to need future treatment. She's going to need more care. This isn't a question of, hey, she might need something. No, she needs more treatment. So we really worked with her to make sure she had kind of the means she needed, both to account for what she missed out on because she hasn't been working since the accident, and to give her a cushion moving forward. So in that sense, when we really weren't given much to work with, we managed to make a lot happen, which was nice.
Great. Ultimately, was she happy with the recovery?
Yes.
Okay. It sounds like you did a wonderful job, Ashley, and by doing that extra work, requiring that affidavit, you doubled the client's recovery. So great job there. Yeah,
I was going to say, it's hard not to be happy when you're told the whole time there's only $30,000 and suddenly there's 60 now.
Yeah, it is. Which, that's why we ask for so much in writing is what I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's exactly why we went with that tactic instead of just trusting the insurance company.
That's a great client victory here from Ashley from Shane Smith Law. For all our listeners, hit like and subscribe down below so you get all of our new client updates and client victories every single week. And if you're interested, we'd be happy to review insurance policy or an accident report for you. Just hit the link below, go to our website and send it in. We'll be glad to see if we can help. Remember, in pain, call Shane, 980-999-9999. Find us online or dial 9, shanesmithlaw.com.
In pain, call Shane. 98099999999. 98099999999. Shane Smith Law.